Why do we ride? Is it for the thrill, the adventure, or is it to satiate that explorer in all of us? Maybe it's all these things, but also something more. Maybe we all long for a stillness, a clarity, a sense of calm that can only be found deep within the hidden corners and recesses of the world. It's somewhere tucked away in the woods and along the winding trails that I go to find it.
Wow, I haven't been down this road on the Himalayan in quite some time. Good stuff though. Oh yeah. I guess this is a good time to segue into the meat of this video, that I'd like to have a very serious conversation with all of you guys about my Himalayan. You know, it's a beautiful day here. I needed to get out anyway. I needed to scuff in my brand new tires a little bit, break them in, and I needed some time to reflect, which I've been doing for the last 30 minutes or so, and also to just tell you what's going on as far as my future in motorcycling. And it's a hard conversation to have, because I can tell you that I have had an incredible relationship with this motorcycle. You know, I feel like to use an interesting metaphor here, if you watch Game of Thrones or House of the Dragon or whatever, I feel like she's my dragon, and and I've bonded with her, and it's a very special relationship. And I know it's just a machine, whatever, I'm sounding like very weirdly existential here, but this was the first motorcycle I bought after coming back from a 20-year hiatus. Basically, it was like 19 years that I hadn't really ridden a motorcycle.
What I picked up is this. So this is my new ride. This is my new adventure, portal to adventure.
And I did almost a year of research before I bought this bike, and really decided that this was the bike that I wanted. I wanted to be able to go on these exact sorts of adventures that we're on right now, but also doing a little touring, and also doing a little, like, I don't know, just like trips up to Colorado, etc., etc. A true 50-50 adventure bike, but something that I could handle. And for whatever reason, this was the bike that spoke to me. I loved the styling. I loved just the kind of old school gritty nature to it. I love that the reviews all talk about how she's an underdog, but yet she can just tractor along over anything. And that was really appealing to me. I just kind of wanted to get something that wasn't flashy or showy, that I could just like putt around on and have fun. And for 4 years now, we have had some of the most amazing adventures together. Truly, like, I get almost emotional thinking about some of the fun things that I've done on this motorcycle, and how buying it and has really just reintroduced me to an entire new world of exploration and fun and excitement that I had forgotten about, truly forgotten about. And not only that, when I did ride 20 years ago, I never really rode off-road. It was all road stuff. It was all pavement. So this is just a whole new world of fun that I will forever be grateful to this bike for being the vessel, the tool that allowed me to open up this toolbox of fun. And sorry for all the metaphors, but you get what I'm trying to say, is that my relationship with this bike is very deep and sentimental. So when the day comes where I part with this bike, whether it's on purpose because I'm trading it in or selling it, or whether due to just old age and mechanical failure, it will be a sad day for me. Very sad day, no matter what. Even if I'm excited about where I'm going next, it's going to be a sad day. And I know there's a lot of you out there probably thinking, well, just keep it. Like, if you're thinking about trading it in, don't. Just have 3 motorcycles or whatever. And I know that is something I've thought about. This is all part of that reflection process. And you know, my rule of 2 motorcycles in the garage, etc. And could I find room to squeeze a third? Maybe. So anyway, I'm getting ahead of myself here, but I think you see where this video is going. I'm at 4 years on this bike now. Over those 4 years, we've had many wonderful adventures, but we've also had some frustrations, stalling issues, relay issues, bulbs burning out a lot, pieces falling off of it. Most recently, finding a piece of metal in my oil pan. So just random things that are indicative of the bike showing signs of its age. So, which, you know, it's a budget Himalayan, a budget Royal Enfield. That's not to be unexpected. This is not a $10,000 Honda or Yamaha. This is a $5,000 Royal Enfield. So I knew that when I bought it. However, and now we finally get to the point of this video, over the last 4 years, I've been slowly putting together a list of my ideal unicorn bike. And I sometimes add to it, I sometimes tweak it, I've sometimes modified it, but what I've noticed coming back from my Colorado trip is that my list hasn't really changed now in about a year. I'm pretty dialed in. I think I've refined it exactly how I want it. And what that tells me is that all of this time on the Himalayan and my time on my smaller bikes has allowed me to hone in on exactly the type of adventure bike that I would like for myself. And I've always talked about my 2 motorcycle garage policy of having a smaller dual sport and then having a larger adventure bike. And I think I've made it to the point where I'm ready to execute that list and move forward and actually start looking seriously at replacing the Himalayan. And yes, I know those words just came out of my mouth and it makes me sad to say them, but the Himalayan has been incredibly kind to me, incredibly good to me, and it's at that point where I feel like it's time to gracefully move on. So that's all I wanted to talk about. I wanted to tell you that yes, I am in the process of looking for a new motorcycle, and I'm being very careful about my list and what's out there. And you know, it took me a year to hone in on this bike when I wanted it, and it's probably going to take me a few months at least to decide what I'd like to look at and kind of where my brain is going, my heart is going, and then, you know, am I going to be able to test ride bikes, etc. So anyway, I have a couple of bikes in mind for sure, and I'll be forthcoming and tell you that yes, the new Himalayan is certainly one of those bikes. It checks a lot of the boxes, not all of them, of course. No bike will, but there are other bikes on that list too. So we're gonna go at this as objectively as possible. I don't want to have any sort of bias towards the Royal Enfield just because that's what I have now. But you know, yes, that is certainly one of the bikes that I'm going to look at. I know it just came up available for pre-order, but I did not pre-order one. I will tell you right now, I'm going to wait and see kind of the longer term thoughts on that bike. But that's kind of where I'm at. So I guess looking forward on the channel, what I'm trying to tell you is that there's going to be some videos probably related to my the process I'm going through of narrowing down, and maybe some test rides, and hopefully it will culminate at some point in the near future with a new bike day. What a beautiful day, really is. You've been good to me, old girl. You really have. I'm feeling pretty confident in my thought process. It's taken me several years. This isn't something that impulsively I came to overnight. This has been something I've been thinking about for many, many years, since probably the first or second year that I owned this bike. All right, well, on that note, I'm going to turn around here and I'm going to go back up this fun dirt road, get back out on the highway, and do a little cruising, breaking these tires a little bit more on the pavement. Anyway, that's it. Take care, everyone. Be safe out there, and go have some fun. It's a beautiful day. I'm sure it's beautiful wherever you are too, and get out there, explore. All right, guys. See ya. Ooh, one thing that I did forget to tell you guys that I'm seriously planning as well is, regardless of what happens with my Himalayan, whether or not I do part ways with it or keep it, you know, it certainly is looking like I'm going to eventually part with it. I do want to go on one last big ride. And so I am getting very serious about doing another iron butt ride. And even if I keep the bike, it'll probably be the last iron butt ride I do. And so I do want to do it though, and so I am planning it in earnest, and obviously whenever it is that I decide to embark on that, I will document the whole thing and it'll be a blast.